Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, and a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful elect Akim out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI has commanded you to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations. They may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line goes back to you being the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Shalom. It's your brother Halakia from the GMS Denver camp coming back once again through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI with another video. And this time this lesson is going to be based around some reading I was doing this morning in Ephesians chapter 1. And as I was reading through the chapter, man, the Spirit had me to go into some of these verses in NLT. You see, in the NLT, it makes things a little bit more clear, man. But you do have to be careful with it. But we pick out the meat and spit out the bones, man. So this is just to go to show that the Ephesians, the Thessalonians, the Romans, the book of Hebrews, the book of Colossians, the book of Galatians, so forth and so on, these letters that the Apostle Paul is writing, even the letters that the Apostle Peter and James and John were writing, they was written to Hebrew Israelites, man. So we're going to just pull out a few points to show you who these letters are written to, and we're going to end it, man. It ain't got to be too long. So this is Ephesians chapter 1 and 1. We're going to read it in the KJV first. It says what? Paul, an apostle of YAHAWASHI Mashiach, by the will of the Most High, to the saints which are at Ephesus, and to the faithful in Mashiach YAHAWASHI. You see? Now when you read it in the NLT, it reads like this. Ephesians 1 in the NLT. Ephesians 1 and 1 in the NLT, it says what? This letter is from Paul, chosen by the will of the Most High, to be an apostle of YAHAWASHI Mashiach. I am writing to the Most High's holy people in Ephesus, who are faithful followers of Mashiach YAHAWASHI. Do you see it? You see it? So let's get a precept for the first verse in the KJV. It says the saints, man. Now who are the saints according to the Bible? Let's go to Psalm. Let's get two of them. Psalms 50 says what? Psalms 50 and 5 in the KJV, it says what? Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. What nation has done that? Only the nation of Israel. The nation of Israel, the Israelites, are the saints of the Most High. We are the nation that made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice back in Exodus chapter 24. That was dealing with the Israelites. It wasn't dealing to all people, letting you know who Ephesians is written to. It was written to Israelites who were living amongst the actual or natural born Ephesians, man. The heathen. You see? It was written to Israelites living amongst the heathens in Ephesus. You see? Psalms 50 and 5 in the NLT, it says what? Bring my faithful people to me, those who made a covenant with me by giving sacrifices. Who are those people? Those people are Israelites. So when you read in Ephesians chapter 1 about the saints which are at Ephesus, this is talking about Israelites. You see? Let's jump to the end of the first verse in the NLT. It says what? This letter is from Paul, chosen by the will of the Most High, to be an apostle of YAHAWASHI Mashiach. I am writing to the Most High's holy people at Ephesus. Now, did the Most High call all nations his holy people? You see? Or was that rank given to a certain nation of people? Let's go back and see what the scriptures say, man. Let's go back and see what's written. Deuteronomy 7 and 6 says what? For in the KJV it says what? For thou art an holy people unto YAHAWAH thy power. YAHAWAH thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Do you see it? The holy people are who? The Israelites. Because when you go to Deuteronomy 1, it tells you exactly who this book was written to, man. It wasn't written to all nations. It says what? Deuteronomy 1 and 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. It didn't say the whole. It didn't say it didn't say the whole world, man, because this is not for the whole world. Deuteronomy 1 in the NLT, it says what? Deuteronomy 1 and 1 in the NLT. These are the words that Moses spoke to all the people of Israel while they were in the wilderness. So when the Most High told these people that there was a chosen people, who was he talking to? He was talking to the Israelites, man. You see, the same people these letters of Paul are written to, Israelites who are living amongst the foreign nations, man. They had what? They adopted and accepted the culture and the gods of the foreign nations, man. And they forsook the way of being an Israelite. So they had to be brought back into remembrance, man. You see? So that's the first one. So we're going to jump down to verse 18. It says what? Ephesians 1 and 18 says what? The eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of his calling, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. Once again, his inheritance in the saints. Who are the saints? The saints are the Israelites. So let's read it in the NLT. Ephesians 1 and 18 in the NLT, it says what? I pray that your hearts will be flooded with light, so that you can understand the confident hope he has given to those he called his holy people. You see? The light, this truth, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, you see, was given to the holy people. Once again, who are the holy people? Let's go back to it. For thou art an holy people unto YAHAWAH thy power. YAHAWAH thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. It's talking to the Israelites, man. Let's see what the cross references take us to. Look at that. Exodus 19 and 5. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Deuteronomy 14 and 2. For thou art an holy people unto YAHAWAH thy power, and YAHAWAH thy power have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. Do you see that? You see? This is talking about the Israelites. Ephesians is a letter written to the Israelites. Hebrews, written to the Israelites. Romans, Thessalonians, Galatians, Colossians, Philippians, Corinthians. These are all letters addressed to the Israelites who are living in those lands amongst the Gentiles, man. Or the Israelites who are living amongst the Gentiles in that land. That's who these letters were written to. You see? Right here, man, plain as day. Ephesians 1 and 18 in the NLT. I pray that your hearts will be flooded with light, so that you can understand the confident hope he has given to those he called. You see? Called is past tense. ED is past tense. Meaning he did it before. When did he do it? In the Old Testament, man. You see? To those he called his holy people, who are his rich and glorious inheritance. Who's the Most High's inheritance according to the Bible? According to as it is written, who did the Most High say his inheritance is? Did he say his inheritance was all people? Or was it a specific nation that was the Most High's inheritance? Let's go back and see what is written. You see? Deuteronomy 32 and 8. It says what? When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Why? For Yahweh's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Do you see it? Do you see it? You see? That's who the Most High's inheritance is. This is how we know that these Ephesians are Israelites. The Most High never said anywhere in the scriptures that the heathen nations were an inheritance unto him. He said the Israelites, the seed of Jacob, is his inheritance. I want to see what that said in NLT Salaki. Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 8 in the NLT, it says what? When the Most High assigned lands to the nations, when he divided up the human race, look at that. He divided the human race. The Most High did. The Most High is not with all people coming together. He divided the human race. He established the boundaries of the peoples according to the number in his heavenly court. Who is his heavenly court? The Israelites. Verse 9 says what? For the people of Israel belong to Yahweh. Whoo! For the people of Israel belong to Yahweh bahasham YAHAWASHI. Who are the people of Israel? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the Israelites, man. And we belong to the one the world ignorantly calls God, whose true name is Yahweh. And his only begotten son, YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he only came for the Israelites, man. Why? Because we are the Most High's special people. And he's sending his son back to save us from the hands of our enemies, man. As it is written. Deuteronomy 32 and 9. For the people of Israel belong to Yahweh bahasham YAHAWASHI. Jacob is his special possession. We are the Most High's inheritance. So when you read in Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 18 in the NLT, it says what? I pray that your hearts will be flooded with light so that you can understand the confident hope he has given to those he called his holy people, who are his rich and glorious inheritance, which are who? Israelites. You see? We are still the Most High's people, man. That has never changed. The Most High is never dealing with you heathen nations, man. These letters are addressed to Israelites living in foreign lands, man, who have adopted and are living according to the customs of the heathen that they are surrounded by or living amongst. The reason the Apostle Paul said he went to the Gentiles because our people were in a Gentile state of mind and they had to be brought up out of that slumber, man. And that's exactly what happened. The light was shined unto them and they were brought out of that darkness. You see? This has nothing to do with you heathen nations, man. Nothing at all. You see that? Let me see, man. It was something else. I think that's the point, though. But yeah, all these letters you see, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians 1, Thessalonians 2, you see? All these, man. Hebrews, all that is only for the nation of Israel, man. The whole Bible is only for the nation of Israel, man. Let's get that. I didn't know this. Malachi 3 and 6, because you have the Most High, he's always said he's never dealt with the heathen nations. So, hey, that hasn't changed. Malachi 3 and 6 in the KJV. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Says what it says, man. The Most High doesn't change. He said he hated the nations back then. He still hates the heathen nations right now. He says that the Israelites are his holy people, his chosen people, his peculiar treasure, his inheritance. That hasn't changed till this day. It's still in place till this day, man. Malachi 3 and 6 in the NLT, it says what? I am Yahweh and I do not change. That is why you descendants of Jacob are not already destroyed. You hear that? We're not destroyed because the Most High doesn't change, man. Everything he's promised to do for the Israelites, he's going to do it. You see that? And that includes giving you heathen nations over into our hands for us to rule over you in the kingdom of heaven, man. That's what's coming, and that's what's written. Thus saith YAHAWASHI. Hey, so with that, I'm going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible, through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, and a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful let Akim out there pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI has commanded you to do. With that, Mr. Shalom, Wa, Abba, Abba.